Well, hello everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It is so great to be back with you. My name is Amy, and I will be with you for today's show. And here we are, starting off at the beautiful Old Donyo Lodge in Kenya with some lovely elephant bulls. It looks like this boy's listening to me saying hello. Yes, we are talking about you. And it's just a great day to be spending some time looking out and about at the waterholes. Looks like it's been a bit cloudy, maybe some rain falling here in East Africa. And I'm just excited to see anything and everything that comes our way this afternoon. Now remember everyone that this is of course a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me. Say hello, let me know who you are, where you're watching from. Perhaps what's happened over the last sort of week and a bit that I have not been doing the show, anything of interest that's come across our path. I'd love to hear from you. Also who you are, where you're watching from, and anything else as we go along. And you can send those through to the Wild Earth website or the app. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream or join the conversation on X using the hashtag WildEarth. Or you can also send your comments and questions through WhatsApp, a mobile application, which you can add the number shown to you on screen as a contact and then message us using your mobile device. Joanne, hello to you. You say happy Friday, Wild Earth. It is indeed Friday, and many of you, I'm sure, are looking forward to the weekend. Some of you, depending where you are in the world, already enjoying the start of your weekend. You can see this bull on the left coming to say hello to the one on the right. Their trunks are so important when it comes to communication, and a lot of touch being part of that, whether it's affectionately or a form of communication, interest in one another. With males, it often has to do with displaying of dominance. Look how he blew there, and the dust from the one's back blew off. They're probably two bulls that know each other quite well. And also that interest in the mouth is something they like to do as well. Bit of a sniff there. Tactile communication, so important for elephants. Harriet, hello, you're joining us from the Cape of Storms in Cape Town. It seems to be living up to its name recently. I was watching a rugby match that took place, I think it was last weekend, in Cape Town, and it just looks like everyone was out in the rain. Good on everyone who went to watch the game. I don't know if I would have been out in the rain to support, but it was a good match anyway. But yes, very rainy and cold that side of the world. I'm in the Eastern Cape at the moment, and we did have a little bit of rain yesterday, but it is sunny and cool today. Very beautiful winter's day, actually. Oh, there comes another pupils. Excited, I think, to get to the water. Look at the others moving off immediately. Oh, wow, this is very cool. When you see how excited elephants get to arrive at the water. Just see this trunk coming on the right hand side of the screen. I think the zebras might have to wait a little while until they find a gap to come to the water. They often are quite brave, although the elephants all seem quite thirsty at the moment. I definitely recognize the one on the left with the one big tusk. Kim, I could also watch elephants all day, really. They are just endlessly entertaining, really. The fact that they are these giants that we get to spend time with, their behavior is so intriguing. Their trunks are something that we really don't see on any other animal in this capacity, the way they use them. And also the emotional intelligence, all of those factors make them just amazing to spend time with. Mike, it's an interesting question, and yes, it could be that the tusk never grew for an elephant like the one we see. It's actually just moving at the back of this group now, but there's always a possibility that it only ever grew one tusk. Tusks are teeth, essentially. They are just a very large form of tooth that elephants have. But at the end of the day, it's a tooth. Its makeup is a tooth like any other. And occasionally, a tooth might not grow where it's supposed to, or not form. And so that could be a reason why an elephant may only have one tusk. Other common reasons, and probably the most common, is that it broke off. that one tusked elephant there at the back. Look how much bigger he is than all of the others, standing really a whole forehead above. Definitely the oldest bull, I would say, based on size. There's one getting right into the middle of the waterhole, cooling off his feet.
My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
But Leandra, if you are talking about time of the year, then that's always up for debate, isn't it? Depending what you enjoy about the bush, depending what you're hoping to see, what your interests are. There are pros and cons, I suppose, for every time of the year. My personal favorite is around the first week of May, first maybe 2 weeks of May. I think it's just the most beautiful time to be in the low veld bush anyway, around the Kruger. But September, October is also actually a very nice time. There's sort of change of season. I do enjoy that a lot. But the reason May is such a nice time is that the bush is still a little bit green. It's not completely lost all that vegetation and grass. As you get to more towards the end of the year, before the rains come, everything is completely dried out. Dark Mane Lover, you love elephants. It's always wonderful to see them, isn't it just? And especially here at Oldonyo, they really do enjoy just hanging around a little bit. There's some places that I've seen them, they come and go so quickly when they come for a drink. You can hear some zebras. Oh, there's some eland that are waiting there in the background. That's very nice. At least one. Haven't seen them here for a while, personally. I think they're all just waiting for a gap once these elephants move off, or at least stop drinking so vigorously, and then they'll come a little bit closer. I think there are actually two elands there. Alright, well, just to go check out what's happening elsewhere, let's head over to KwaMaru town. And this is a beautiful spot here in the Pilanesberg National Park in South Africa. So we've come back down south, and a small herd of impala that are enjoying a little bit of time here at the waterhole. Seems that the impalas have also calmed down a little bit. The rut, I think we can say, has officially ended. Now we're in July. I didn't hear much rutting when I was the last in the bush, sort of in the middle of June at Mabula. Everything was quite calm there, and I believe elsewhere as well. And all these females will basically be pregnant, most of them, and have a fetus that's busy growing if it was successful. And in just a few months now, I cannot believe it's July already, but in a few months we'll have the excitement to look forward to. When will that first lamb be arriving in November? Well, from here we are going to go check out what's happening at Founders. Well, this has to be one of my favorite waterholes that we get to visit, and just because of the view and the whole setup here, and some very interesting animals that we get to see. But today we have got what I think is 2 Egyptian geese. I was just checking myself there, but then I saw a second head, and actually a beautiful view And a bird that, let me say it this way, is not everybody's favorite, but they actually are quite beautiful, with all their colors and the details that we see on their face and their back and their side, and those very sort of bright orangey legs and beak. Doing some serious preening here, sorting out their feathers, applying the preening oil that they need to help waterproof themselves.
Katika mwanga wa mwezi kivuli hutembea, mrembo mweusi anayepotea, macho yake ni taa, gizani huwaka, fuvu la msitu, malkia anayejificha.
My full name is Mpho Tikani. I grew up in Soweto. My first animal that I filmed said to dog. Okay, no, it's my first animal that I filmed, I think it was an impala. Best sighting ever, I would say it was actually this year, 2024. But it was at this Cedric when we had Mulwati and TP on a warthog kill. I think we have to cut it.
Hyenas love bathing.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a wild earth explorer, you won't miss a thing.
Incredible.
Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. The best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Well, from this very cozy, tucked away Egyptian goose here, let's head over back to Old Donhill where a giraffe is coming to drink. Well, I did think this was a possibility. The elephants have clearly moved off and given the opportunity for something else to come to the water, which the giraffe has taken. Very nice to see. The eland are still in the background. Hopefully they'll approach soon. I know there were some zebras around, so a lovely bit of variety that we're seeing up here in Kenya. Looks like the elands have decided that it's time to come a little bit closer. This looks like two females, and I say that because of their size, but also just look at those horns, how long and quite thin they are, whereas the bulls have much shorter, stubbier horns, let me put it that way, and their size is just gigantic in comparison to the females. I'm not sure if that is a bull at the back or not, but still an impressive antelope nonetheless. Actually does look like that could be a bull in the back, just how wide he's standing there, the neck and the shoulders, but we'll have to see if it comes a little bit closer to confirm that. But beautiful to see these antelopes. I haven't seen eland here many months ago was the last time. It also gives us an opportunity to see the spirals in the horns, just the way this female on the right is positioned. The one on the left spirals aren't as clear, but the one on the right you can really see that little bit of spiraling that's just above the head. Oh, I'm sorry about that. We had to move off to Vic Falls. I'm sure we'll be back there as soon as possible. But it is the vulture feeding that's coming up now at 1 o'clock. And sometimes they're a little bit later than 1. But food gets brought out, some leftovers from the kitchen, extra carcasses, things like that come out, and they put it out for the birds here. And that has to do with supplying safe food sources for these endangered birds, and how important it is that is supplied. So you'll see in the next sort of anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, slowly but surely more and more of these birds will arrive. That sort of looks like a school assembly that's getting together, or like a big conference of these birds as they anticipate the arrival of the food. You can see now they're all lining up, getting ready, and it's mostly vultures, mostly white-backed and hooded are the species that we see here, but I have seen white-headed here before, and then there are a few marabou storks in the background there, sort of to the central right-hand area, and they do also come and try their luck, but most of the time the vultures finish off everything so quickly that there's not too much left for the storks. Nancy, you make a very good point in terms of their memory, and it's not only with vultures, but animals, they obviously they all vary in intelligence level, varying from brain size, different regions of the brain that are certain sizes and adapted for certain sort of niches and specialities that they need, depending on the type of animal they are and what they need to do to survive. But when it comes to routine or habit, it is amazing, and you actually see it quite often, especially with birds, and many of you would be maybe familiar with birds in your garden or certain areas or places that you've been to on holiday, where just based on routine and something happening regularly, the birds know that it's that time of day, and that might have to do with the sunlight, with a certain feeling that they get based on the conditions, or based on a certain sound that they hear. There comes the gentleman now with the big cooler box. And those are all sort of triggers that then basically trigger a certain response from the birds. And like I said, there's various things that could happen to trigger that. But then a certain behavior happens in response to it. And these birds just tend to know. Also, it just takes one, and then they all sort of will follow on at that time of the day. Oh, wow, look at them. That's a feast. A feeding frenzy is the word that I like to use. Takudzwa, it will be basically bone with sort of bits of meat attached still to those carcasses, whatever. I'm not sure what they use, whether it's certain venison that they perhaps use in their kitchen, and this is the leftover carcasses from a local butchery, or maybe where they process meat locally. But they know that it's clean and unpoisoned. It could actually be from also the lodge itself. They're of course doing their cooking and things like that for the guests. So it is basically, I saw a bit of a rib cage there, and there's might be other bits of carcass that they put out for them. to me. It always amazes me just how quickly the food disappears, and you can see that initial frenzy is already over and some of the birds deciding to fly off. Daniel, indeed a vulture convention. Oh my goodness. And it was lovely to be able to see them doing their thing here. We're going to head back over to Founders where a rhino has arrived. Wow, how beautiful is this? Some of my favorite, sort of a real Kodak moment as it's known here at Founders. Just stunning. The detail we can see, and you can actually, what's quite cool with the horn here, see that hair growing. Basically that keratin that forms the horn, simply just hardened hair, and it's actually a little bit fluffy there. Not fluffy, it would also be hard, but you can actually see that texture change. And the only reason it goes smooth is because the rhinos themselves are rubbing it against posts, even the ground, rocks, things like that, to smooth it out. But generally, if no one touched the rhino horn, it would have sort of that hairy texture to it, because it's simply just hair that's hardened and grows like that on the front of the face. Aren't those colors just magical? From the rhino to the reddish soil to the sky and the Eastern Cape hills in the background. It really is quite beautiful.
Now this leopard that we're looking at is known by the name of Hlalamba.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Whoa. This is action-packed.
Step into the heart of Africa from the comfort of your home.
Female leopard tracks over here.
Join our expert guides for a live 3-hour safari where every moment is real, unscripted, and unforgettable. Ask questions.
Animals rely on their senses.
Share your thoughts and be part of the experience as we explore together. Safari Live.
Actually tough they are underneath, but still have a bit of a fatty pad. How soft the skin is, sort of under the arms or legs. Oh, there, definitely a mom. There's baby. Oh, very cute. Sounds like some wagtails are around. We often see the Cape wagtails here at Founders. Oh wow, they're the others. That's a nice surprise. Another mom and calf, and possibly a bull, or maybe another female. Oh, hello. Interesting. It doesn't look very serious. Maybe just a little bit of disagreement, maybe social. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see. And this sort of social behavior or interaction is fascinating to me, because one has not always been privileged to spend a lot of time with rhinos out in the wild and to observe and learn more about them, and even just seeing, I think it would be interesting to know if it was a male or female, so I'll try and see if we can sex the individual on the right. Baby is definitely staying next to mom on the left. I saw sort of underneath her tail, she was definitely female. But that's also what smooths out the horns, is a little bit of rubbing one against the other. And it's also interesting to note why then, if one decides to dehorn rhinos on a game reserve, you have to do all of them, because it puts some with horns at an unfair advantage over the others, of course, because the one's got this weapon and the other does not. So it is important that if a reserve decides to do that as a sort of safety precaution to stop poaching, then all rhinos must be dehorned in order to ensure that you don't have the ones with horns basically taking out the ones that don't have horns, and it's just an unfair sort of balancing act between them. Daniel, you say rhino babies are cute, but hippos are your favorite. Well, it's always tricky to choose between baby elephants, baby rhinos, and like you say, even baby hippos. They are extremely adorable as well. This is fascinating. It doesn't look like mom is too concerned about the little one. It's not like she sort of pushed it off to stay away or anything. That's why I think this is more of a friendly encounter than anything that is too serious. But interesting that it is, you would normally associate this sort of behavior with two young bulls, for example. Oh, there's some blessbuck in the background as well. I am finding this behavior so interesting. Quite evenly sized, although the one on the left may be slightly larger. That's the mom. Let's see if we can see if this is a male or a female. Yes, Diane. We are saying the same thing. So traditionally we don't classify female white rhinos as being territorial. They do also sort of mark in middens that territorial bulls create, and they go and defecate in those areas. But they don't actively defend territories. It looks like it is also a female there. If you look under her tail, sort of when you see a bit of a, the penile sheath basically extends with males all the way down from underneath the bum or underneath the tail. So it does look like it's another female. And usually, are these females competing? Doesn't look, like I say, too serious. Mom isn't too worried about her calf. Could it be one of her previous calves that have grown up and is trying to come back and hang out with mom? Fascinating.
Join me for a magical safari to India, a wildly exotic land of tigers, temples, and Kipling. To start, we'll head to Pench and then to Doba to look for the famed Bengal tiger, as well as deer in the dappled forests, sloth bears, and countless birds. We'll stay in stunning eco-lodges that blend luxury with a light footprint. Our Indian adventure culminates in Agra with a sunrise visit to the Taj Mahal.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
My full name is Emojis Tikani. Best part of my job is coming to see nature. Worst part of my job is logging. That's the worst thing ever, because you have to log amount of footage. You sit in front of that computer and yeah, you think of deleting the footage, but no, they need the footage. If I want a camel, probably a soccer player. I know some people don't believe me, but I'm very good, and I'm very fast.
Every month, something wild lands in your inbox. From rare sightings and behind-the-scenes secrets to expert stories, seasonal changes, and exclusive travel opportunities, the Wild Earth Journal is your free monthly mailer, packed with the magic of the wild straight from the field. It's fun, it's free, it's full of surprises. Sign up now on the Wild Earth website.
Temperatures usually, and quite consistent in that sort of perfect days, one after the next. And now with these terrapins being reptiles, they definitely are looking for some sunshine to enjoy. All right, well, while these terrapins soak up the sun, let's head back to Founders with some warthogs. It looks like they may be coming for a bit of a mud bath. I'm not sure. Although the sun is shining, it doesn't mean that it's very hot. They might just be coming for a drink. Oh, there's a springbokkie in the background there. I don't know if I've seen a springbok here before. Whole herd of those baseback now moving past. We've also been lucky enough to see antelope like sable here at Founders, which is really a treat because there's not too many places that you can see them out in the wild. This being some of our best sightings, also at Elephant Pan in Botswana. Rhino is back. Now I'm not sure, it does look very similar to the rhino that was sort of bumping horns with that mom and calf. Oh, ooh, that actually looks like a male now. Oh, no, that is a male. So that's a different one. These other two are running back. But I don't see the little one, unless the little one is still on its way. That's looking a little bit more, let's say, serious in the fact that it's chasing the other one away now. Fascinating stuff. Now, if there was a female giving the female and calf a little bit of a hard time, and this is a bull that is territorial and that's his calf, he might not be too impressed with this other female. All possibilities. I mean, without sort of seeing the full picture, they disappeared for a little while. It's impossible to say. It looks like he's might be doing a bit of a phlegm and grimace there, sniffing the ground. Rita, for the most part, the rhinos sort of stay in their lane. They don't bother about different species too much, unless, of course, they have to interact with them, or there's limited resources, or they're sort of in their path, or maybe around a waterhole. They're quite low-key in that regard. actually looks like we might have 2 bulls here now. Yeah, it looks like that. Definitely a bull walking away from us, and actually a female in the background. So this looks like a big bull that's moving, following her there now. But fascinating dynamics. Alright, well, as those rhinos move off, and we'll keep our eyes here though to see if anything else pops up. But for now, let's head over to a giraffe at Nkoro.
This is an unbelievable afternoon.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Thick neck, and taking his time to come down for some water. Well, isn't that just beautiful? He took his time, and now we get to watch the drinking taking place. You can hear some magpie shrikes calling in the background. Well, while this giraffe enjoys his drink here at Nkoro, let's head back up to Old Donyo with some elephants. It looks like a few zebras have decided to brave the elephants. Although this boy is probably going to say, hang on, we're not quite ready for you to come here yet. This elephant on the left actually has quite impressive tusks. They're both very even and very long, which is not always something that we get to see. It'll be interesting as he gets older if those tusks develop into what we refer to as a tusker. And with the one moving off, I wonder if those zebras will take another chance to come have something to drink.
I feel it is a rosetted morning for us. So yes, let's see what we can find.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
My name is Takudzwa Panda Msesani. My scariest moment is when it happened twice. The other time I was with Cedric and the other time I was with Steve. And all those times, it was a black mamba. My favorite meal in camp is gonna be burger and chips.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
And all of a sudden they've decided to move off, barring this one here on the left. But what it does mean that as these bulls do move off is that it's likely the other animals, like those zebras, will take the chance to come and have a drink. Are those some droplets falling from the sky? It looks like it's starting to rain based on the water. even with a few drops of rain, it looks like the sun's coming out a little bit. And those beautiful zebras finally being able to get to the water for a drink. Karen, hello, thank you. Have a good weekend as well. And yes, beautiful to see this zebra here in East Africa. Such striking zebras, part of the plains zebra, but a subspecies for East Africa. They don't have that shadow stripe. The name escapes me at this very moment, but I know that they are such beautiful zebras that we get here. Darkmain Lover, hello, lovely to hear from you. Good to have you on board this afternoon. Yeah, Marco, the zebra doesn't know what to do now that it has this whole waterhole to itself. Luckily, it doesn't have to rush or be worried about being chased away by an elephant. Ah, that's why it's moving away. This bull is quite impressive actually, with a very, very, very thick right tusk. Also one tusked, but you can imagine if he hadn't have broken his tusk, how long and thick it would be. Very much the thickness we associate with tuskers. And it almost looks like he never grew a second tusk. And the reason I say that is, do you see how flat his left side is? Whereas if there is still the base of the tusk that's connected to the jaw, that section, that sort of flap that hangs over, does actually have a little bit of width to it, because the tusk is still inside and has just, you know, broken off. Like you can see this elephant that's coming to drink now, how wide those tusks basically fill up that flap. VC, yes, most likely they won't necessarily be together 24/7, let's say, but if they are in a group at the moment, likely that they will continue to be in this group when they're feeding in the area, moving around, and you know, each of them are completely free to sort of break away from their group. But often I've seen sort of sometimes a trio of 3 that are just always together. You see one, you know the others are around, but it can vary, and each group is different depending on the individuals. Dark mane lover, no, I wouldn't consider any of these elephants that we're looking at here tuskers. That title is really reserved for elephants with thick but also long tusks. Now, although this one in the middle is on his way to potentially being one if his tusks continued to grow, they're well on their way there. They are impressive. But if you look at an elephant like One Ton, which is a very well-known tusker for this area, he comes to this waterhole every now and again. When he stands next to bulls like this, you can see, clearly, that is the tusker, because just of the thickness and the size. Like I say, this one tusked elephant here has the right thickness for a tusker, but just obviously with use and unfortunate breakage along the way, that tusk never reached that sort of full length. Does look like, just because of the angle, that tusk was broken off. And basically reaching the ground almost in length. Some of them do curl up. But it is amazing how big an elephant's tusks can get. Does vary. So the elephant on the left there, you can see how sunken in his temples are. If you look above the eye, sort of on the forehead, that shows us that this is not a young elephant. I would probably look at 40 years plus or so, just by how sunken in those temples are. I may be wrong, but also the length and thickness of those tusks do suggest that he's very mature. But that might be as big as his tusks are going to get. Not every elephant has the potential to become a tusker. It really does depend hugely on genetics that play a role in that. And then a few things going the elephant's way with the tusks not breaking and that sort of thing, because they won't regenerate.
For years, we've shared virtual wildlife. Now, let's experience it for real. I'm Lauren Arthur, and I'd love to show you my amazing home here in the Greater Kruger of South Africa. This 5-night journey is an exclusive connection to my piece of untamed Africa. I live here in these gorgeous landscapes surrounded by epic wildlife. The wild is calling, so come and join me.
My name is Takudzwa Panda Msesani. I really want to film an artwork, and it has been my goal. I'll be just keeping my eyes open. The worst driver is James. He's driving, yeah. You gotta be holding on back in there, yeah? Like in bumps, and I mean, it happens when, these things happens when you're actually going for animals usually. But then, yeah, he's driving, yeah, you gotta put your seatbelt.
Step away from your daily stress and escape into nature with Wild Earth. Immerse yourself in the wilderness and become part of the natural landscape. Watch as everything comes alive. Join us as we slow down our thoughts, put aside our distractions, and reconnect with the wild.
Some of you out there are brilliant at identifying hyenas.
Now, why do you think people have got this huge misunderstanding about reptiles?
Right in front of me there was the face of an astounded buffalo bull.
This is live and interactive, so everybody, if you have any questions and comments, please do send them through and let us know what you would like.
Oh, well, there we go. I was waiting for this moment, hoping that maybe we'd see the zebras rock up here while the elephants are still around. Looks like a few young zebras in this herd as well. Very cautious. Melanistic marble, yes, it does seem that these elephants do own the waterhole. It's nice to know that they do sometimes allow visitors. But it is, I must say, very intimidating when you've got three like that standing around. But any movement by those elephants, whether it's one step forward or even just a movement of the head, the zebras are very quick to move away, even if it is just for a short while. Darkmane lover, they do have to be careful. It is a risk to be at the waterhole with the elephants for the zebra. You never know. But with them being, oh my word, that zebra really gave a kick there. With them being on the direct opposite side, you know, by the time an elephant sort of even moves or shakes their head or steps towards them, they can easily move away. But you're right, there is always chance for an injury. In fact, it did take place here. A giraffe was injured by an elephant with a puncture wound from the tusk they were drinking together, and the elephant wasn't happy with it being here, and that giraffe ended up dying from that injury. So it does happen. It's not completely placid and calm and tolerant always. Most of the time it is. You can hear the zebra, that call in the background. Well, we do enjoy looking at some baboons, and let's head over to Paul. Now this is a spot that we love looking at these baboons. Always interesting. Very entertaining if they do decide to stick around. looks like they are moving away. So I think let's head back over to Old Donyo. And here we are left with the 3 again at Old Donyo. Dark Main Lover, you say you remember that incident I was speaking about with the giraffe. I know, it's I actually never saw it myself either, but I do believe it was witnessed obviously here at the camera. And it is sad with the loss of life, as is any loss of life, but it's one of those things where it's animal on animal conflict. These things happen, and so in line with policies for reserves, most of the time when that sort of thing happens, it's part of nature, and intervening from a human point of view is just basically interfering, I would say, is the best word for something that would have happened naturally. And unfortunate for that giraffe, but very much an incident which is so much can be learned from in terms of things like that happening, understanding elephants better, and just knowing that, you know, to be able to witness that, to see it, and then be able to learn from it is so important. Yes, zebras were definitely giving us their best bum shots there. They have moved off. I'm very happy all was calm and the zebras were able to get their drink. Well, we haven't been over to Tower today, so let's go head over there and see what's happening.
This unfolds in front of you.
full name is Maxine Gaines. Most people that know me really well call me Max. I'm a mum. I have 2 boys. One is 16 years old and one is 14 years old. I'm a very, very proud mama of my 2 boys. I've just always been passionate about leopards. I'm passionate about their conservation. I'm just passionate about everything to do with leopards. I love them.
Can you hear that? The wild is calling.
Savanna and desert-like places, so it's got this sort of in-between vegetation as well as temperatures that are quite extreme on both sides. Oh, let's head back over to Lentor. Here we have this little unstriped ground squirrel. I believe was having a little bit of a drink. All right, well, that was short and sweet, but I think let's end off the show at Oldonyo with the elephants. Looks like this boy drinking wants a little bit of space, and he's right there by that inlet pipe, which they do enjoy getting the freshest water from. apologies everyone, we lost the feed there. But it's been a wonderful show. I must say we've enjoyed it. Lots to be able to see and spend time with. Let's head over to Tembe. Beautiful herd of impalas here. Always beautiful bird calls as well that we can hear here at Tembe. Dark Main Lover, it's such a pleasure. It's been a wonderful show to share with you today. Thank you to everyone for joining us, for sending through your comments and questions as we've gone along. I will be back with you tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the waterholes have in store for us then. But until then, I do wish you all a pleasant day or evening ahead, depending where you are in the world. And remember that coming up at 3 p.m. is the Sunset Safari. So make sure that you do stay tuned for that. I'm excited to be back on drive next week.
Welcome to Safari Spotlight. Today we will be going on an adventure through some of South Africa's most beautiful wildlife havens. Our locations are unique, they are diverse, and they are at the forefront of ecotourism and conservation. The landscapes are spectacular, the wildlife is incredible, and we will be looking at all the interesting flora and fauna and generally bathing ourselves in Africa's beauty.